All right, a lot of feedback coming in today. And look, I like to compartmentalize topics, and I do think it is absolutely a big story what the Pistons didn't achieve for the first, 47 minutes and 57 seconds. But what happened in the last couple of seconds is a topic in and of itself, and it was a terrible missed call. The league admitted it, and it sucks because, in the end, Tim Hardaway on the free throw line with tenths of a second left, shooting 3, needing 1, hoping to get 2, is a great place to be at. But they didn't make that call. Okay, so, the Pistons aren't supposed to blow the Knicks out. The fact that the game's close at the end is them doing their job to give themselves a chance to win. They got to close out games, though, when they have big leads. They can't afford to have offensive droughts like they had in the second quarter. They got to have better answers for Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson. I don't know if they have an answer for Brunson. I feel like they can do a better job on Cat. And I don't know if you saw the one time he complained after he missed a shot. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that every shot he misses he complains?
No, I mean, that's the NBA, right?
I know.
Every player will do that.
I know.
But, yeah, look.
I'm bitter today, so at this period of time, he's the worst.
Yeah, we're all bitter today. And looking in the mirror, I mean, the Pistons obviously they can blame themselves first and foremost. What happened at the end of the game, that's on the refs, and that's a mistake. And it cost the Pistons the game. But so did the way that they played. Mm-hmm. As we said from moment one of the show today, 2 separate issues. They're both true.
Yep.
They are both 100% true. The Pistons shot themselves in the foot time and time again, and the referees cost them on the last play of the game. But where do they shoot themselves in the foot? They were careless with the basketball throughout the game, but more so in the first half. They had too many empty possessions in the fourth quarter. And guys you're depending on to step up and knock down shots are not knocking down shots. Malik Beasley, where the hell are you? All right, I know he knocked down a couple threes last night, but by and large in that game, not good.
Yeah, before he knocked those down, Gator, what was he like for the series? 3 for 19 or something?
Yeah.
It's been terrible.
And even so, he was 3 for 9 in the game. It's 33%, which is 7%. I mean, he's a 40% shooter from 3-point land, and he's just hasn't been good. 5 of 12 in the game is not good enough. You need this guy to be a big-time performer because right now they don't have that secondary scorer that they desperately need. There's Cade Cunningham, and then there's who knows who's going to step up. You need to count on Jalen Duren for a double-double every night. 17 rebounds, great. 6 points, not so much. And he was minus 17 on the court, by far the worst in the game. But Malik Beasley is a guy you've been counting on to score 15, 18, 20 points, can even go for 30 if he gets hot. Don't let him get hot. Well, he hasn't yet. But that's still in the toolbox. Let's go.
Yep.
We need you, big fella. Get hot.
The struggles yesterday of Asar Thompson and Malik Beasley early. He got hot later in the game, but and the turnovers by Cade, they just have to. I mean, it's been a problem all season long, yeah. and it reared its ugly head, and it cost them.
As a team, they went 7 for 29 from 3. That's 24%.
Well, at one point they I
think they missed the first 10.
Yeah, they were brutal from 3 for much of the game, and one for their first 14. And what'd they finish?
7 of 29.
7 of 29. So, they got better.
15 after. Yeah.
The 3 big things that I was worried about heading into the series was, turnovers, secondary scoring outside of Cade, and inexperience. And I feel like all 3 have reared their ugly heads during this series. And we all were asked to pick an X-Factor player, right? My X-Factor player was Asar Thompson. I've been really disappointed in him, but I think he's so green and so young right now. He depends so much on the athleticism, but Jalen Brunson's working him. And I think Asar's got to go back to some fundamentals as, getting down in his defensive stance, anticipating more, because I think Brunson's going to get his no matter what. I think you're right, Doug. But you got to make it at least tougher on him. He's got to work for it. And I think Asar's got that type of defensive capabilities. It's just not showing. He's playing like 20 minutes a game.
Feedback coming in. You can't say the Pistons got robbed. Cade had a great look. He just missed it. And the turnovers did us in. You can't win a playoff game that way.
Yeah, you can.
You can't say they got robbed.
They got robbed.
We have a fundamental disagreement, whoever sent this in. Yeah, Cade had a great look and missed it. That's true. Turnovers did him in. They hurt.
That's true.
It's hard to win a playoff game that way. Agree. and they get robbed.
It's all true.
I mean, it's all true. It's all true. You can totally say. Now, here's where I would say, you can't say that the only singular reason they lost the game is because they missed the foul. They missed the foul call. You can't say that, and I won't say that. It wasn't the singular reason they lost the game. But it was a big reason why they didn't have a great chance to win the game. And all the rest of that stuff is also true. Play never happens if Cade makes that shot. Look, they might have a bigger lead if they don't turn it over. But they're not supposed to blow the Knicks out. Their job is to give themselves a chance to win late in every game. If they're an overwhelming favorite, I might play a little bit more heavy on the Pistons blowing it. But they're not an overwhelming favorite. They're the underdog in this series whose job is to give themselves a chance to win the game. And when you have a chance to win the game, and that chance, you're denied that chance, it's frustrating.
I get that nobody wants to talk about that because they'll think it's a loser mentality to blame it on the officials.
Yeah, and I think if they dwell on it, I agree. Yeah. It's not it's our job, though. It's not our job to not dwell on it. It's their job to not dwell on it.
It also cost them a chance to win the game.
Yeah,
can't deny that. And the other stuff is true, too. It's all true.
Feedback. JB got out coach. There's no way Asar should only play 22 minutes if he's not in foul trouble. He is our best defender. Put him in the effing game. SMH. I understand. I just thought he was struggling mightily on the offensive end.
Well, he had 4 turnovers in the 22 minutes, which is not good. So, but the simple answer to that is you don't put the ball in his hands, I guess. Yeah. You just want him out there to defend, then have him out there to defend. But then it becomes one-dimensional. Unless you use him like Duran and just he's there for the flush, right? And he's obviously incredibly athletic. I think he's got such a bright future ahead of him. But he's there for his defensive prowess, and he needs to exert that more.
Tony and Warren says, Doug, why are you surprised? The officiating in the NBA is by far the worst of all the 4 major sports. It's why I can't watch anymore. It's a very difficult game to officiate, and this series is insanely physical. It really is. Regardless of the BS call, I'd like to be the surgeon apologizing for operating on the wrong knee. Oops, sorry, all went good, but the damage is done. That's from Steve. To hell with the Pistons, I'm done with the NBA. I'd walked away from it. These young Pistons brought me back in, and the officials have ruined it. That's from an unnamed texter. NBA doesn't want the Pistons to win. Apologies are a joke. That's another unnamed texter.
Well, it's better than no apology. It's better than them coming out and saying, nope, everything was good.
Dave in Detroit says, call me crazy. I just expect this as a Detroit fan. To win, Detroit teams need to leave no doubt. They can't just leave it to a referee call. It'll never go our way. Pedro in Memphis says, champ, the Tigers, AJ Hinch. He keeps the train moving down the tracks. Chump Mel Kiper. It's time for Kang to take over his job. Kang is brilliant. But here's one thing to keep in mind, and he really is brilliant. Kang's expertise is not the draft. Kang's expertise is thinking how Brad Holmes thinks. I'm not taking credit away from you. You are doing, when people want to know what the Lions are going to do, you did an unbelievable job. You picked 2 of their first 3 picks, Tyreek Williams and Isaac Tesla. It's incredible.
Breaking Brad. It's what I've done.
Well done.
My champ is Kang, nailed his predictions with Williams and Tesla, plus his bold prediction, Sanders not getting drafted in the first round.
I said he was going to get drafted in the 5th round, guys.
No, he didn't do that.
No, I didn't. That part I didn't do.
You know who did? No one.
Yeah.
No one.
We will talk about that a little bit later on. My champ is the Tigers. They are a joy to watch. My champ is the Pistons. It's tough to watch all the bricks and turnovers. Yeah, I mean, look, they're not playing unopposed. They're playing a really good team that forces a lot of those things, and I want to give them credit. But they must cut back on the turnovers. Some of the turnovers look careless, and it's hard to win that way. And maybe it isn't close in the end if they don't turn it over.
You know what I would like to have seen, at least at the end of that game? I know that you can't review it and all that. I would have liked to have seen the officials get together and say, did anybody see anything here? What did you see? What did you see? What did you see? And just do a quick 10-second powwow and then you could, wave off. Nope,
I'm
game's
not
over.
sure you can do that. And it would have been more controversial if they did something they're not allowed to do. I'm not sure that you can get together and say, all right, did anybody see a foul? They will get together. One guy will overrule another one on an out-of-bounds call or something like that. But I don't know that I've ever seen any official, if nobody blew the whistle, I don't know. I mean, aren't they basically saying, none of us called a foul, let's all huddle up? Do one of us want to call foul now? And I don't know that you can do that. Would you have liked to see it? Yes, I'd like to see anything other than what we saw.
Right.
I would like to see the world's latest foul call. Is what I wanted to see in that moment. But yeah, it'd be tough because
And this just came over Twitter, guys.
right. It'd be tough to overrule the guy who was standing right there.
Before Tim Hardaway Jr. gets on a plane to head to New York, he's going to take three free throw attempts at LCA with nobody in the stadium.
All right, let's get more into the draft because look, trying to predict what Brad Holmes is going to do is very difficult. Kang's good at it, but they did something that nobody expected. They did a couple of things nobody expected. We'll get to that at 11:35 here on 97.1 The Ticket.